What a cool dude. To create your toad house, you're going to need terracotta pots. Having a couple different sizes for your toad house isn't a bad idea. That way you can get the smallest of toads all the way to the largest. Before you start decorating, decide which way you want your toad houses to go. Do you want them to be straight up and down with a little entrance hole at the bottom and an exit hole in the back? Or do you want your pot to lie flat? You can use the drainage hole as the back entrance by enlarging it a little bit and bury your pot. But this will help you figure out how you want to decorate it and which side would be facing up. And plenty of decorating tools. I chose to mosaic my pot, so I needed mosaic tiles, glue, a tile cutter, and grout. Then I drew my design onto the pot, marking the spaces where the terracotta pot would sit inside the ground. That way I would know how far to mosaic. Then I glued the tiles on, did a whole bunch of waiting for glue to dry so that I could keep rotating the pot without tiles falling off. Enjoy some toad fun facts while we wait for me to finish my mosaic work. Did you know that a single toad can eat 1,000 insects, spiders, and slugs each night? Their ability to manage insect populations alone is a great reason to try to attract them to your yard. Frogs have slick, wet skin for swimming, while toads have dry, bumpy skin for blending in with a forest floor. Frogs also have large hind legs for jumping high and quick, while toads have shorter but strong legs for jumping far and low. Toads are found on every continent except for Antarctica. Toads don't have teeth, so when they catch food, they swallow it whole. Now back to my mosaic work. I chose black grout as it was really great contrast with the white and the bright green. Then once the grout had settled for a little bit and cured, I was able to wash the grout off and then buff it a little bit. After that, I buried it inside the ground and created the toad house that you see here. I also wanted to make sure that there was plenty of water so that the toads, which are amphibians, could be happy having both land and water available to them. Here we are at the creek. And this is a great spot for toads. You can see that it's shady here. It's not super sunny. I mean, there's a little sun back there, hole in the canopy. For the most part, this is what toads like. They like it where it's cool and where it's shaded and where there's lots of insect life. Over there, I saw a damselfly. There's lots of insect life around here. You're also going to want some source of water. So when you set up your toad house, you want to make sure that you set it up in a shady spot. So maybe underneath some shrubs or flowers that are pretty big to give them that nice shade, make it look like a canopy. You also want to make sure that they have some water. I did that with my toad house by using the base of the terracotta pot and creating like a little mini bathtub or a pool that I can refill or that gets filled during rainy days. You want to make sure that it's in an area that will attract insects. If there are no insects, there's no reason for your toad to move in. So you want to make sure that you're attracting their food source too. So having it in an area where there's lots of flowers, plants, leaf litter, stones. There's lots of stones here for insects to lay their eggs under. That's going to be what makes great toad habitat. You also want to make sure that you keep your hands nice and dirty if you're going to be touching the toads that you come and you get to observe. Toads are amphibians, which mean that they breathe through their skin. If you have chemicals, think of all the hand sanitizer we're putting on right now. If that's all over your hands and you touch a frog or a toad that comes and moves in, they're going to be breathing those chemicals in through their skin, and that can really hurt them. So you want to make sure that if you're going to go outside and play with the toads, observe them, get up close and personal with them, you want to make sure that your hands have pure water, like a creek water on them. Maybe rub your hands in the dirt. Get your hands all sort of mucky and filthy. This is what toads are used to jumping on and hopping through as they explore. So you want to make sure that your hands are a nice environment for them as well. Then when you get back inside, you can wash off if needed. So as you make your toad habitat, you want to make it the best toad habitat that you possibly can. So by following these steps, by creating that little safe home for them, you're going to be keeping toads around for years to come.